Comes up short. Czar, if things do not work out, Eric Spoelstra, could you see Pat Riley taking over next season? As Bynum is fouled on the play. Chalmers raising his hand. May have been Dampier. We'll wait for the call as Bynum will head to the line. It is Chalmers picks up the foul.
Well, to answer that question, I don't think Pat Riley wants to coach this team. I think he understands that it's a very difficult job. He's got a lot of faith and confidence in that guy, Eric Spoelstra. However, when an owner comes down and says, I want you to coach this team, that's a different story altogether. Magic Johnson, who played a few games underneath Pat Riley in Los Angeles. But if an owner tells you, we need to do something differently, then Pat Riley may have a very difficult decision. Either give up working for the Miami Heat if he doesn't want to take over, or you have to take the job. But I honestly feel he does not want to coach this team and does not want to make any kind of move at all right now with Spoelstra.
Can it work with this roster? Is it a flawed group? Obviously, you have as James hits on the turnaround, you have two superstars. I would not put Bosh in that category, but a standout player, perennial all-star. But can it work with this particular set?
Well, when you say flawed, does it constitute a flawed group if you know that your center position and your point guard position need to improve? And there's no question about that. They understand that they don't have the best as Pau Gasol faces up and hits that in-between jumper. They don't have the best at those spots, but they did go out and get pretty darn good players in the other positions. So you start somewhere. Remember, this is year one of putting this together.
Coming up on 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter, Chalmers hit a couple threes early. Howard with that rebound to keep it alive in a new clock. James dropped the foul. Nice move on Artest, who went for the fake, and Lebron will go to the line.
Lebron ripping that ball up through the defender's arms, trying to initiate the contact, because Artest likes to keep that hand extended out over where the ball would come through if a player goes up to shoot a jump shot, so he can strip you right there. LeBron turned it in his favor and drew the foul.
Pau Gasol sitting down, 6 points, 2 of 2 from the field. Lamar Odom will check in as we take a look at the upcoming national TV schedule. NBA TV Saturday, it's these Lakers playing the Mavericks at Dallas. And you can log on to www.nba.com/Fan Night to vote for the Fan Night game coming up Tuesday, March the 15th. ABC on Sunday, Orlando at Phoenix, and ESPN Monday, San Antonio here in Miami, and then Orlando playing the Lakers in Staples. Zydrunas Ilgauskas has checked in for the first time.
Interestingly, when Ilgauskas starts with the big three along with Chalmers, that group are 10-1 together this season.
They're able to reach that mark after the bad start. Miami opening up at 9-8. Bynum was taken off his mark by Ilgauskas. Tipped by Artest.
Bynum down the court, that right ankle, he may have landed on another player's ankle, but he reached down immediately as Artest tipped it in. Seems to be okay right now.
Remember, Andrew Bynum missed the first 24 games of the season recovering from surgery on his right knee, and then after returning struggle with a bone bruise in the left knee, so he's been injury hit, has just come on strong as of late during the course of the 8-game win streak. Nice move by Wade.
You watch that and you go, how did he do that? He just went one way to the right, yet stepped around the defender to the left and was able to convert.
Artest posting. James blocked. Ilgauskas got a piece of it. Here comes James spinning his way on Odom. Yes! And the foul. Beautiful move by LeBron James.
Purely strength. That's all that was, because he made the move. The defender moved his feet. Watch him take this now. Comes at Odom, spins, go right through. Takes the contact with the lower body, strong enough to get it over the arm, through the contact.
I didn't have one way or the other.
Can you imagine crying after a regular season game?
Personally, no. But everybody reacts to situations differently. It doesn't. I think people kind of made a bigger deal out of it than what it was. But it is what it is.
Craig Sager earlier with Kobe. After that 1-point loss to the Bulls this past Saturday, Eric Spoelstra made the statement that a couple of his players cried after the game, and then he pulled back on it the next day. He said, well, it was kind of slumping heads and red eyes. And I don't think there's anything, I know people, it's an easy target to make fun of. I don't think there's anything that unusual, even in the pro ranks, to see players in the NBA, NFL, baseball, NHL, to see emotions pour out. But it's usually after huge games. If Wade came up short, championships or games that can get you to a championship. And I can understand the frustration of the Heat due to all the pressure. Some of it, or much of it, due to the way things developed. I thought what Charles said on the pregame was right on. Here is Bryant, the decision show, the cleaning at the celebration back in July, and whether LeBron was serious or not, saying, hey, we're going to win 5, 6 championships. Here is LeBron, and it's punched out of bounds. It'll be Laker ball.
I think the guys in the pregame show were very much on top of what took place and how this whole thing developed, why every city they go into, they're hearing so many boos come out of the stands. If Eric Spoelstra could have taken the statement back, he probably would have. But what he was trying to do is tell people, you're asking what's wrong, what's wrong. This team really cares. They do care about winning. They do care about the fact that they've lost 5 games in a row now. At that point, he may have said the wrong thing that he unfortunately couldn't take back.
Bryant is fouled. He'll go to the line. You think Eric is perhaps looking for some sympathy from fans by making that statement, which you're not going to get.
No, you're not going to get Kobe. You see him spin away, take on the second defender, wind up bringing it up on the other side. He's not looking for sympathy. He was, I think, trying to defend. He's all about his team. I think he was trying to defend his players and make people understand that this isn't a group that's just shrugging off the fact that, oh, we lost another game. They really do care. And if some eyes were teared up on the inside, so what? That's good. That's a good thing if you're coaching that guys care that much.
Well, we have a similar problem with our TNT telecast. Our producer, director, rest of the staff say they are in tears after working with you. After the game, you can hear it. You stand outside the production truck, and there's wailing going on.
A lot of crying, yeah.
Just under 2 minutes left in this first quarter. Chalmers has the green light going here tonight. That's his 3rd 3 of the first quarter.
What a difference from that one that he missed so badly. He never shot it the same way. The other 3 shot it with a lot of confidence, got it up in the air, gave himself a chance. And again, Chalmers almost comes up with the steal.
Chalmers, a 36% shooter from downtown.
The ability to get to open spots, drive the middle, draw the next defender. Blake came a little bit too far as the 3-pointer goes in from Chalmers.
Miami over the limit. Gasol to the line. Mike Bibby, the newest addition to the Heat, on the floor. This is 5th game in a Miami uniform. He has shot just 5 for 15. Originally 2nd overall pick in the 1998 draft by the Vancouver Grizzlies. Played for 5 different teams. Was a star with the Sacramento Kings. Now, he was traded to Washington right at the deadline. Traded by Atlanta. Wizards decided to buy out Bibby's contract, making him a free agent. Miami claims him off waivers. Bibby gave up about $6 million to join the Heat with the feeling that Miami is a team with a shot at the title.
Shot at the title and a need at that time. The point guard position was not steady. What they're counting on is for Bibby to make shots, to stretch the defense. You see the foul take place there. Mike Bibby's a terrific spot-up shooter. The problem is, can he defend the basketball the way he has to be a part of the Miami Heat defense? They're a very prideful defensive team. They do a lot of work in practice every day at the defensive end. That's a concern whether Bibby can fit in at that end of the floor.
Mike Miller has come on. He has been struggling as of late. Shannon Brown, Steve Blake checking in for the Lakers. And now Matt Barnes, who has been injury hit, will replace Ron Artest. Barnes back from surgery on his right knee. Has not been the same.
But he adds another defensive presence, another toughness factor for the Lakers.
Nice pass from James. Ilgauskas with the scoop. Offensive foul. Basket will not count.
Ilgauskas is upset. Eric Spoelstra is upset, saying that the defender never got his feet outside the restricted area. Right there, you can see Odom's feet clearly outside the restricted area. Good call by the officials.
Blake and Brown are in the backcourt. Mike Callahan calling an official timeout and allowing a substitution. Joel Anthony will replace Idris Ilgauskas, who picked up a second foul.
Ilgauskas grabbing his right elbow there as he went to shoot that one. Took a little bit of contact on the right elbow. But at least you saw Ilgauskas trying to make a statement and go strong to the basket. He's primarily known as a jump shooter.
Gasol working on Anthony. See Miller cheating over to help. Here is Gasol. Certainly aware that Anthony is out there for his shot blocking ability. James backing it up on Barnes. Miller for three. Yes. Mike Miller, as I mentioned, has had his problems recently. The other night, just 1 for 7. Shooting overall, just 41%. That's his worst shooting season. And this guy's been over 50% on a number of occasions.
Mike Miller is a terrific shooter and with unbelievable range. But once in a while, you see Odom right there get the left hook, rolls off the rim. Once in a while, Miller goes through stretches where he doesn't believe in himself. He loses his confidence.
Final seconds. Count. They'll take a look at it. They'll review it. But it appears LeBron got it off on time. The Heat with a 29-26 lead after one.
You see how much ground LeBron James can cover with how little time left on the clock. We'll see if it's out of his hands before the red light goes off. Looks like it's out. Barely out of his fingertips.
LeBron 3 of 6, 8 points. Chalmers leads the way for Miami with 9.